Hello, welcome to another edition, Wisdom Talk. Again, this information is designed to help you to improve your life, to better your life. The only way we can ever really move forward and better our life, we need information. We live in a world that we have no idea what's going on in it. We don't know. We know a lot of other things about in terms of going to school, what's required in order to get this job, to attain this degree. We know all these things. But when it comes to school, when it comes to life itself, we have no idea where we do what we're doing or where we're going. Why is that? So again, and because of that, that's going to make it very difficult for us to have the life that we want because we're not operating with the blueprint or the design, the way it was designed to go. We are going against the wave. So please, again, share this video with people you love because, again, they need this information to make the right decision. There's nothing more comfortable than having the right information to know when you make a decision, you go to sleep at night sound because you know you made the right decision. And that's a comforting thought. It really is. But it takes time to learn this information. There's a lot of information that you need to learn in order to live the way you want to live in this physical world that we are placed in. Today's story I'd like to share with you is about, reincarnation. And this is a wonderful story that really drives it home. And this is a story really from a woman that lives in Israel, and she was telling this story. And when I heard this story, it touched me and it really scared me as well. Because we're under the impression when we look at each other, or we look at people, all we see is the physical, we see the outside. We think there's nothing else beside what we're seeing. But the truth is, there's a duality. We have a duality life, meaning that we have a spiritual and a physical life. And most people have no idea what this life is about. So they're thinking they're here to do everything but what they were sent to do. So this story will drive it home for you to make you realize there's more than meets the eyes. This is a story about a woman that lives in Israel, and she was talking. So she had brought home a cat, a kitten. And the kitten was young. They had it for 2 months. During that time, the kitten would meow so much. It was becoming very frustrating. They could not understand. Now, after 2 months had passed, it had gotten worse. Now, at this time, this cat is 2 months old, grown. Now, the cat is jumping on the table, getting into the cabinets. And then when it was time to go to sleep, this cat would run into the room and hide under the bed. So it became annoying for the family. They did not know what was wrong with the cat. They would pet them, they would give them food, they give them everything, and they just did not know what to do. So at one point, they thought, you know what, maybe this cat should be outside. It want to be outside. So they decide to put the cat. She decided to put the cat outside. And then she put food and water for the cat. Now, that day, that cat disappeared and then come back to the next day. So after a while, it became an outdoor cat. So the cat only can come in when the children wanted to play with the cat. But after a while, at night, this cat would go to the neighbor's house and start meowing all night long. You ever had a cat that meows and meow, meow, and you wonder what's wrong with the cat? Well, that's what this cat was doing. Meowing, unbelievable, would not stop. So meowing and meowing and meowing. So the neighbor, was a little bit frustrated about that. So one day she went to the neighbor house and she was talking to the neighbor, and then the neighbor was telling what the cat was doing, and she apologized to the neighbor. She said, I don't know what to do with this cat because ever since we got this cat, it's just been meowing just would not stop, and we can't really tolerate it anymore. And the neighbor said, this cat may be a soul that came back that's looking for forgiveness. When you have this cat again, tell this cat, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. Because it's probably a soul that needs forgiveness, sent back to obtain forgiveness from you. So she went home and she didn't think much about it. And the next day she was on the porch and the cat was on her lap. So as she was petting the cat, because the cat would not get off her lap. So anytime the cat would sit on her lap, the cat would just stay there, would not leave. That was the cat. So as she was petting the cat, she told the cat, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. The moment she said that 3 times, the cat jumped off her lap and walked to the patio door where she was sitting on the patio. And then she said she had a distinct feeling that the cat business with her was over. So she opened the door and the cat left and she never saw the cat again. So when she was preparing to go, she was going to go overseas for 2 months. And she went to a friend's house to say goodbye to the friend because she was going to go overseas for 2 months. She wouldn't see her friend. And she was telling her friend the story. And when she told her friend the story, and the friend said, my cat is doing the same thing. My cat is jumping on the table, is getting into the cabinets, is opening the stove. Everything you told me, that's what my cat is doing. Meowing all night. We can't tolerate it. It's frustrating. It's keeping everybody up. And then the friend told her, do what I've done. Tell your cat, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. And then we'll see what happened. So her friend left her house and she went home and packed and went overseas. After 2 months passed, she came back and she went to the friend to visit the friend. And she told the friend, hey, where's your cat? I don't see your cat. Oh, that's right. You've been gone for 2 months. Well, let me tell you what happened. After you told me what to do when you left, I told my cat, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. And my cat left. So we haven't seen the cat. And then one day we saw the cat across the street, was crossing the street, and the cat got hit by a car. So the question is, what did we gather from this story? Listen carefully. Both had the same situation. The cat meowing all night, all day, thinking that's something wrong with this cat. And then they both said, I forgive you, I forgive you, and I forgive you. And the cat left. Both of them left. So it shows, ladies and gentlemen, that our words are powerful. And not only that, reincarnation. So this person, whoever they were, this soul, came back into a cat to obtain forgiveness from these people. And we have to be careful what we say and do, because it shows that when we say or do things, we're leaving things behind. We're leaving a mess behind. And these two cats obviously left a mess behind for them to come back, or this soul came back in the cat to obtain forgiveness from these people. So it's saying that there is an eye, there's an ear that's watching and listening to everything we do. And that this life does not just end here. It does not end here. There's something much more than we want to believe or want to accept. There is consequences for what we say and what we do. That's what I'm trying to say. We have to be very careful with our words, how we use it with people. Even if we're angry, we have to be careful, because obviously, again, if this does not make the hair on your back stand, then nothing will. And this is a real Dave Martin story. This is not something that happened years ago. This happened a couple of months to a woman that lived in Israel. So again, these are real stories, real situation. And then you have to ask yourself, how can it be? You come back in a cat to seek forgiveness. So if you can come back as a cat, that means you can probably come back almost of anything, right? So meaning that our life does not end here. What we say and do carry heavy consequences. It carries heavy consequences. We have to be careful how we treat each other. And that's the number one thing we must do. What we say, we have to guard our tongue. I know we get upset, situation upsets, we get frustrated, but again, look at what the end result is going to be if we don't control our mouth. Look what can happen to every single one of us, thinking that we don't care. And for those of you who thinks that if I kill myself or I'm dead or whatever the case is, that's it, life ends here, think again. Obviously, life does not end here. It only begins once you die, it begins. You have to understand that. It does not end here. Everything you say and do carry heavy consequences. Heavy consequences. We have to be careful how we treat and speak to people. This is about what comes after we leave this world. We are here for a certain amount of time, and our action will determine what happens to us when we leave here. As you can see, with these two cats. They had to come back to obtain forgiveness from these people. I thank you for joining me. Please subscribe and keep following and share this story with other people who may need this information. Even though you think they may not listen to it, but pass it on to as many people as possible. Let them hear the story. Let them hear about reincarnation. Let them hear, especially people, if you are a Christian or whatever religious background you are, share this story with them. Let them hear this story and let them draw their own conclusion. I thank you. God bless, and I'll see you next time.